Hello, I'm Artifacts of Mars. Today we're going to look at Spirit Soul 2. This is a bit of an unusual photograph. At first I thought this was a shiny metallic cylinder inside this little crevice, but I've since changed my mind. With the help of Second Life and really a couple months of study, I've made some discoveries that are really remarkable. So let's get started on this. The first thing we need to look at is this tubular structure running around along the left side. You can see where the arrow is. I believe this to be a structure known as a rhizome. A rhizome is essentially an underground stem that grows horizontally, and at certain nodes a plant will grow up and out of the soil. This allows the plant to basically spread asexually. If you ever pulled up nuisance grasses out of the ground, those stems you see are rhizomes. Okay, I'm going to switch to another plate and we get another look at this one before we move along. Okay, here I've moved the arrow down a little bit. You can see the same tubular structure that goes down into the ground. I studied this photo in great detail and I'm convinced that we're seeing plants here. Well, there's no question in the case of the top object. The question is what exactly we're seeing in the hole. But basically I think we're seeing a rhizome here. Perhaps just a root. It'd be difficult to tell without close-up analysis. I'm going to switch to another photo now. Alright, this is a root structure we can see going across the photo. It's basic and simple. It's very fibrous, it's tangled. It's everything you expect roots to be. Really nothing more to say on this one. And of course, the debunkers will come up and say something asinine, and I'm sure, but we're looking at roots here. Simple, basic. We all know what they are, so that's the end of it. Okay, now our little pointer is pointing directly at the stem, which you see coming up out of the crevice. It's basically a whitish structure. You can see it looks almost worm-like. That's simple and basic. It's a stem which feeds the leaf, which is right to the right of the red pointer. I don't need to see anything more or know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a plant. I thought it vaguely resembled a type of plant called a calanchoe. I'm not so certain, but calanchoes grow in Madagascar, so I can't doubt it. It's probably more closely related to some succulent. But what's it doing on Mars? This is the question. Clear indication on the stem, clearly a leaf to the right. We got ourselves a plant there, folks. That's all there is, there ain't no more. Okay, in photo 5, I placed the marker right on the plant leaf. Remember, I showed the stem in the previous slide. This plant leaf is a little bit broad at the base and narrow at the tip, which of course is nothing unusual. I would think it's some type of succulent. That's what it resembles. I did email NASA and ask them for input, which of course they're going to deny it's a plant, but that's their problem. So there we have a plant, and we're going to move along because we've got a lot of material to cover on this object. This appears to be a stem which goes across from the left. I believe it contacts the rhizome. May not be very easy to see, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But I believe it goes over to the right to support the plant at the top, which is just blatantly, obviously a plant. So we're going to take a look at that, but I'm not going to spend much time on it. I'm not 100% certain what we're seeing. Possible biological material at the arrow. I believe this to be another plant leaf. Really can't prove it. So I think I'll spend a lot of time on it, but it doesn't look like it's a rock. It looks like it's raised up off the ground. So not much time to spend on this. We're going to move along to another photo. This structure and the other one that I'm about to show really steal the show. These are clearly vine-like roots that we see hanging down from the plant at the top. There's nothing else to say. This didn't arise as a result of some weird mineral interactions or anything like that. The only thing these things can be is biological. Their roots, that's into the subject. Now, if you debunkers have nerves to call them rocks, I am going to scream. Because they're not rocks. Do you get it? They're roots. Plant roots. The plant is up above. And again, here we have another root coming down from the main plant up top and going down into the hole. I don't understand why these plants would open up a little crevice like this in soil, but Martian biology is going to be substantially different than ours, so who knows why. The point here is we're seeing roots. There's nothing to argue about. These are plants. So we need to get on to NASA and get on our public officials and demand they tell the whole country the truth. Alright, we'll go on to another slide. I've moved the pointer so now it touches the middle lobe of the three-lobed leaf that's hanging down. Can't get over how much this leaf resembles that of a ginkgo tree's leaf, but of course it can't be a ginkgo and it's way too small at any rate. But we can see a little, like a checkerboard pattern on the leaf. That's not terribly unusual. You can find that in nature. So this is a broadleaf, I believe, right alongside the other one, which almost looks like a succulent. Very unusual plant. And not all that easy to see until you've studied the photo in great detail like I have. Okay, this is going to wrap it for part 1. I'm running out of time and I'm only allowed 10 minutes per video. So we're going to reconvene with part 2 of Spirit Soul 2. Thank you for your attention.